Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. So, guys, this is Tamieka's Den. I am Tamieka, all right? And this is Verzuz we talking about, y'all, okay? This ain't gonna be a long video. I just want to get up here for a minute and chit-chat, honey, because I don't know what the heck that was. That was the mess of messes of all messes, all right? The ghetto, okay? And it's funny because I did a video last night, well, yesterday, okay, because we in a whole new day now. And, you know, it took me forever to freaking upload it. But basically, I was mentioning how it was going to be a Verzuz last night and what people was looking forward to, you know, if they was planning on checking it out. And I was saying we never know what we're going to get when it comes to Verzuz, right? There's technical difficulties. There's different things that come into play. You know, we got to see how the chemistry is going to be amongst the people and all that good stuff. I'm not going to repeat everything I said because I already said it in that video, okay? But that was my point, is like, child, I did not see that coming, but then I did. It's like you just don't know what you're gonna get. And I think we can now put to bed talking about Keisha Cole and how she was late, and, you know, or saying, you know, Brandy and Monica was awkward. Honey, child, these people tonight was a freaking mess, all right? Absolutely crazy to me. First of all, there was so many things that was wrong. Number one being, y'all started this too damn late, okay? It's a weekday. So this should have been something 6, 7, 8 o'clock the latest. It should not have been starting at no daggone 9, 10. You know, you said you wasn't going to do the DJs with the whole battle thing. So it's like, yes, okay, that excludes that. We thinking that would make the time move. But no, y'all still was extremely late. Okay, we still had to listen to this DJ playing, and then had to have him coming down dancing. Then had to have some chick that's supposed to be doing the crip walk, but she really not crip walking, you know, and all kind of different foolishness. And then when they did get out there, we getting attitudes, we getting, you know, just real mad. I'm angry at the whole daggone world. You know, you slap my mama type of energy. It was like, what the hell was Sammie mad about? What was really going on? Did something else happen that we didn't know about? Because he was extra mad for no damn reason. Okay, I'm trying to understand it. And he was doing way too much. That was like the first thing, you know. Then the sound was horrible. The camera work was doing I don't know what. You know, at one point, I did see somebody share something where, you know, number one, Swiss and Tim both had to be like, all right, let's get this show started. What the heck is going on? Of course, they weren't there to my knowledge. I think Swiss was all the way in another country, because when it was like 11 something, he was saying it was 5 something wherever he was at, you know, in the morning. And he was like, come on, let's get this going. You know, then on top of that, it was way too long. This lasted 4 hours and 28 minutes. There was no reason why it should have been something that lasted that damn long. And I know sometimes we be like, dag, it's over already and we want a little extra, but we don't want it that damn extra, especially, like I said, on a late night, okay? Then you have the sound and everything else messed up. Sound check should have been done. People should have been in there, you know what I'm saying, practicing and making sure everything was right ahead of time. So this is not a situation where it just fell on one thing or another. It was multiple things, in my opinion, okay? And that made it even worse. That took the nostalgia out of it. That took just like the enjoyment out of it, at least for me. And then there's parts where, like I said, you don't know, or at least I didn't. Let me speak for myself, in my opinion. I didn't know when they was being serious, when they was just, you know, trying to throw a little stuff, because I don't mind you being a little shady. I know it's a competition. I know we trying to, you know, juice things up and amp people up or whatever have you. But like I said, it felt sometimes like we was about to fight for real. I'm like, is we mad for real? Is we fighting for real? Do we need to call security? Do we need to call the cops? Like, what's happening right now? Okay, I don't know if I was the only one that was feeling that way. And so right away, that took away the energy from me. Then at some points, we had too many people on the stage. You know, if you're not the one that's a part of the performance, then why the hell are we on the stage? I'm just trying to understand it. You know, and D-Ray didn't seem to know what to do. It was like he tried to go and improvise and jump in, you know what I'm saying, at the last minute. They must have had to come put a bug in his daggone ear, and he looked like he was saying, you know, I ain't get paid to do all this. I ain't know I was gonna have to come do all this. So that already took away from it for me, okay? And so then when we get them up there, you know, they had this Ray J and Bobby V supposed to be on one team, and Sammie and Pleasure P on one team. Now, I found this interesting from the get-go. Like I said, I wasn't expecting all these people. This just seemed to be random to me, seemed to come out of nowhere. But I'm like, okay, cool. At the end of the day, I know a little bit of songs from each of them. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm like, I don't know them at all. I don't like them at all. I don't know nothing from them. But I'm like, really, you know? Okay, this is interesting. So I'm thinking of it like, well, I'm assuming each person is doing about 3 or 4 songs each, the max, right? Normally, when it's an artist, you know, that have that many hits, that have that kind of category, you know, category, then they would do like up to 20 songs. So if you have 4 people and you have them doing 4, you know, songs each, then at least that come up to 16. Or if you have them doing 5 each, that comes up to 20. So I'm like, that must be what they going for. But, which I don't think they would ever do it again anyway. Why would you put these 4, you know, as I guess a opening act, you know, so to speak, and then have the 2 main ones come on after them, and you want to give the opening act 2 hours and then give the main act 2 hours or 2.5 hours too? That was too much. If that was the case, then you should have did the teams one by itself as is, you know, individually. Either have the team one day and have, you know, the other 2 another day, or the team one week and the other one the next week. But having it all together made no type of sense. Again, on a work day, on a school day, in the middle of the week. If you wanted to do something like that, this should have been on a Saturday early, on a Sunday early, or late Friday night, minimum. Like, nothing Monday through Thursday should have even crossed your mind to set up something like this. And on top of that, we want to come late. We want to have attitudes, you know. We want to be doing too much. We want to be talking too much in between each damn song, wasting more and more time that could have been used, you know what I'm saying, for you to sing. It's like, if you don't talk about it, be about it. Your actions will speak for yourself. You ain't got to sit here and say, oh, I'm going to do this and do that to you. Let your vocals speak for you. Sing. It was like they was doing more talking than singing. So that took away from a lot of it to me. I really couldn't enjoy it in some aspects. Later, when it came to Omarion, and I'll get to that in a minute, I was laughing more so. So I was like, if anything, at least I could say I got some laughs out of this. I was also laughing at the comments on Twitter, the comments and, you know, Instagram. At one point, my cousin called me because we both already know, you know what I mean, what each other was thinking. And so when she called me, we both automatically started laughing or whatever have you. We didn't even have to say no words, because we just have that type of connection. And so we was able to laugh together. But in that beginning part, y'all, I actually literally started getting a headache. I started just being like, okay, I wanted something that was going to lift me up, change my mood, make me feel good. This is literally doing the exact opposite of that. So that kind of sucked, and, you know, kind of ruined it a little bit for me. But, you know, we had Bobby V. He did Blackberry Molasses. For some reason, I was seeing people in the comments that was like, what is this? I'm like, huh? I'm assuming these is young people, honey, because Bobby V started out with, I believe it was Mr. I remember one of my first boyfriends I ever had brought me the cassette tape, baby. And I used to run Blackberry Molasses in the ground, you know. Like I said, I think he's the one that has the most songs out of everybody. But ones that I know off the top of my head would be like Slow Down, Beep Beep, Tell Me. I mean, he do have the hits. There's no, you know, denying that. And to me, he was being the most humble out of everybody. You know, Ray J was being kind of chill at first too. And then he started getting in his feelings and looking like he was getting real serious with how, you know, Sammie and Pleasure P was coming. But at the same time, Sammie did, you know, sing his song better than him. I'm like, dear Lord, you know, Ray J want to get up there and he want to put the damn blame on the baby. I said, not the baby getting the blame, you know, and he apologizing to, Brandy or whatever the case may be. You know, he did bring out Young Bird, you know, they performed together, and of course he did One Wish and sounded horrible, you know. He, like I said, apologized to Brandy for that and was trying to blame it on his son. You know, of course, Sexy Can Wait a Minute and excuse me, is you know, like his top songs that most people know him for. But I actually like a song by Ray J called Keep Your Head Up, okay? And I think it was Woman's Worth and another woman something that Genuine came out with around the same time. Honey, I would play all three of those songs back to back to back, and that song gets me so emotional. It's such a beautiful song. So again, I am fans of all of them. You know, I like all of them. I could say that I know at least one song by all of them. I'm not no diehard fan where I'm going all crazy now. Really, I'm not a fan like that anyway. I'm not in none of the cliques or none of that stuff that they be having going on today. If I was to be in any cliques or be a diehard fan of anybody, it would more so be people like Patty, you know, Luther, Prince, Michael, people that you only got to say they one name and you know who I'm talking about. All right, Stephanie, you know, that's people that I stand for. These guys is actually all younger than me. They're more so like my little brother, my little sister age, but I still know when I hear good music. I know when I see a good performance, and I'll give it to you and be like, okay, you did your thing. Even if I don't know the song, but you sang your behind off, I'm going to be like, all right, you know, you did that. And I just wasn't seeing it here, especially to be coming out so cocky and nasty. It was like, yes, Sammie can sing, but when him coming with the type of attitude it was, it just made him ugly. It made him nasty. It took it away from it for me. Then you had Pleasurep going down in the damn, you know, audience. And I'm like, for what? Why did you have to be in the audience? Why did you have to be in people's faces? You know, yeah, so that's pretty much how I felt when it came to them. You know, Sammie, I'm going to keep it real. I know maybe one song by you, but you was acting like you supposed to be the king of everybody. You know, Pleasurep, I know on the hotline, boyfriend number 2, and like one other one. I can't think of it right now. I probably know 4 songs from each of them, but just to be able to tell you they songs off the top of my head, I can't really do it. I'm not gonna lie. Jeremiah, I didn't even recognize him at first. I was like, wait a minute, you know, and then I was giving him his props like, oh, okay, he coming out here, he gonna show them how it's done, and he's singing. Then I realized he was singing off key too, so I was like, well, what the heck, you know, what's going on here? And at one point when Mario and Omarion came out, he had the nerve to be like, telling Jeremiah and Omarion, y'all better stop, okay, because y'all sound crazy. Mario had mad jokes. I didn't know he could have so many jokes. I didn't know he could come with it like that, you know. And so I was really impressed with, number one, how he was singing. I was already a fan. He gained an even bigger fan after tonight. He made me fall in love with him all over again. I would look up to see where he's in concert at. I think he, you know, took charge of the stage. He did what he had to do. First of all, he came out off the gate bringing a fake B2K up there. I'm thinking that's the real B2K coming out for a minute. You know, he sung his behind off. So for me, he carried it, baby. He did what needed to do, you know, be done. He was like, oh, y'all came to play, baby, but I came, you know what I'm saying, to do my thing. And he wasn't taking no prisoners, and I was here for it. You know, he was coming with his little comments, but it wasn't crazy. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't where I felt like, you know, they was going to be in fights, even though some of them things he was saying, it might have been, you know what I'm saying, a fight, you know. And I know that Omarion pretty much is more so unbothered, right? And you know, basically cool, calm, cool, collective type. And he seemed like he was getting a little bit of a, you know, a little feeling it, a little something, something, right? We had times when Mario was telling him, you know, you were dancing and you need to stick to that dancing, okay? You dance good. And he was doing his dancing. Now, I have to say with Omarion, I'm a fan of his as well. I had B2K CDs, okay? I had his CDs. Some of my favorite songs from him is Bump, 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 okay? Icebox, Speeding, I Love. And I was like, what is this? When he started singing it, I was so freaking mad, yo. You know, Supposed to Be, and Then I Get It In is another one of my favorites. Like, I literally have those two, Speeding and I Get It In, is on my phone right now, y'all. And I will randomly, out of nowhere, put that on when I'm going to do laundry, shopping, you know, ride the bus to my doctor's appointments, whatever have you, okay, or just here in the house and have it on repeat. So I was so disappointed. I was not expecting that when it came to Omarion. You know, if anything, I didn't really have that much interest in the whole Bobby B, Ray J, and Sammie and Pleasurep. It was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't mind seeing them. And like I said, in my opinion, they could have been about a half an hour, and they could have been out of here. We didn't need 2 hours of them, all right? But then it was like it's bad enough that that went that way, and then to have Omarion come out, and I was like, well, what's going on with his voice? He's sick, something happened, you know, he got the flu, he got a cold, because things happen. I know he was singing, he couldn't hear himself, you know what I'm saying? That's not impossible either. So yeah, I was a little disappointed with that, because I've seen him do performances before where he did not sound like that to me. It was a little bad, okay, but the dancing was still on point, as you know, as far as I'm concerned. Whereas Mario was hitting every note that needed to be hit in every way that it needed to be hit, honey. He did not disappoint me. There were songs that I didn't know by him, and you know, I hear people say that Omarion was gonna clean him out. You know, that he's more so the mainstream artist. He have more hits, and sometimes you can't go by that. It's funny because there's some people out here, and we can name quite a few, that actually can sing their behinds off, but they may not get the status that some of these other people do, whether it be because of the publications that they have, the people they have behind them, the managers, whatever it may be. But make no mistake about it, I have Mario on my phone too, and I rocks with him. I was always rocking with him. I had the first 2 CDs of his. But he reminded me of why I always rocked with him and why I had him back, you know, had him on my iPod and phone and things of that nature back in the days. I mean, he did Just a Friend. He did Let Me Love You. He did Crying Out for You. He did How Could You. He did Break Up. He did I Choose You. He did Music for Love. He did what needed to be done. I was here for it. And even when he was singing songs that I didn't know, like I mentioned earlier, if a person really know how to put on that performance, even when it's stuff that you don't know, you like, well, damn, you know, you singing that. I mean, he makes me want to go and look up when is he going to be in tour and pay to go to this daggone tour. And trust me, I haven't even been going places like that since COVID, all right? I just recently got my behind in the theaters to see Doctor Strange. Like, I would pay to see this man live. And I really hope after people seeing him that may have been sleeping on him all this time saw how he performed last night. I hope that this makes his sales go up, more people buy his stuff, more people go to see his concerts, because he definitely does deserve it. Okay, there's no question and no doubt in my mind about that whatsoever, and I want him to get all his flowers and all the love and all the appreciation that he could possibly get. Now, I do know a lot of times when they do these verses, you know, they do be like, oh well, you know, the verses got this many views, and they do talk about sales going up on people albums. And so I really do hope that happens for him, because like I said, I think he deserves it. And he was throwing out shots. I mean, at one time, Omarion even brought out damn dancers and had some clown with them. And they doing this dance break with some song that had nothing to do with none of his songs or nothing. He wasn't even dancing with them. And, you know, Mario was kind of like, yeah, what is this? You know, I forget the daggone movie. Was it Step Up? It was one of them dance movies. He was like, what is this? Whatever, part 2. Like, that made me laugh. You know, another time he brought out Tank, and I'm like, oh, Lord, now you bringing out Tank for help, because they had already mentioned earlier in the night that Tank was in the building, and Tank started singing a little bit. And I mean, I love Tank. I was here for it. I'm not going to complain about him singing, you know. And Omarion Mario, I should say, basically came up next to Tank and was singing too, and was like, boy, just give it up. Go sit down. So like I said, he was talking his mess, but he had it to back it up. It wasn't like he was talking his mess and then he was sounding horrible, or he was all over the place, or like he was being extra disrespectful. You know, another time, Omarion was trying to tell him like, oh, well, maybe you need to be in a group, and talking about the fact that he wasn't on tour with them. And Mario basically was like, man, I didn't want to be on that raggedy ass tour. Like, no, thank you. I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, mess with y'all anyway. And was basically like, yeah, I see, you know, you really ain't got that much hits on your own, okay, without including those B2K. So he was coming back with his little comments, and like I said, he had it to back it up. And at the end of the night, they ended it on a good note. It was like still love, still respect, still them bigging each other up. Omarion actually brought up that he have a book, of course, that has to do with Unbothered, right? He was talking about more music. You know, D-Ray tried to add his jokes in and basically say he would like to see both of them in the movie. And at the end of the day, I want, you know, both of them to win. I want all of them to win. Okay, I love seeing my black people doing good things, but I just really felt like those things took away from it. And then even after that, I was hearing that Sammie went on you know, social media or Instagram or whatever, and was basically trying to disrespect Omarion and Mario and say that he was better than both of them. And I'm like, if you was better than both of them, honey, then you would have been a headliner. You wouldn't have been there in a team, in a group. Okay? So get it together, honey. Because you ain't got neither one of the songs that they had, and with the energy you came with, you didn't make me want to, you know, have you there and see you there longer. Then he was even, you know, bitching and complaining, saying that they had gypped them and they played them, and, you know, was being real disrespectful to the point that D-Ray actually had to check them and be like, when you in somebody else's house, you show that house respect, and this is Swiss and Tim's house. And at the end of the day, they should have never had to tell him that. So I think they messed it up for some other people that this probably could have been an opportunity for. I don't see Swiss and them doing anything like this. Maybe they would just have, you know, like a 2-and-2, or they'll just do it all separate. I don't know. Or maybe they'll do it crazy earlier, less time. And I definitely think one of them should be in the building when this is going on, so that they could talk to people directly instead of them having to send other people and send messages through social media. At this point, they've been doing this for a minute, so you would think they would have it better organized than what they do. Like I said, some things is going to happen. You can have different technical difficulties and stuff like that. But when you're a professional and you're in the industry and you're used to performing, you're used to things happening. And so you still would basically work around those things even when those happen. But, you know, that was kind of disappointing. But overall, I laughed mad hard. I enjoyed the hell out of Mario. This felt like a Mario concert to me. For me, he saved it a little something and kind of carried it on his back. You know, I enjoy certain things with Omarion and him dancing, and I had certain nostalgia for certain songs that he sung. The whole watermelon thing with him and his brother was a bit much for me. He talking about, y'all women, make sure y'all pH balanced. I was like, what is going on? Why do we have a watermelon down here, you know, on the stage? Why is this a part of the show? You know, so I'm sure it's probably some other things that I'm missing. That was the main things that I remembered, and I had took a few notes, y'all. But at this point, I'm tired. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I spent 4.5 hours, because that's how long it was, watching Jay Lee's, you know, live. She was streaming it on her channel. Then at the same time, that's why I had to wait and charge up all my other gadgets. I was on Twitter, I was on Instagram, you know, I was jumping back and forth to see what people were saying about it, what their reactions was. You know, of course, that was making me laugh. So I said, you know, that kind of helped me through the night. And then after watching her streaming it, I then went to her live and, you know, saw her comments and her feedback on it. And she was over it with the fact that it took that long. And I can't blame her for that. I was surprised that she actually even still did a recap. And I had no intentions on doing one. But I figured while it's fresh in my mind, you know, I had some thoughts on it myself too. I figured I would just jump up here real quick and just share some of them, okay? Because, honey, that was something else. You know, tell me, did you watch? What did you think? Did you even get to make it through the whole thing? That's definitely not one of the verses I would go back and watch again. If I did, I would probably be fast forwarding through it, because it is some of the past ones that I looked at again. But there's no way I'm about to sit through a whole nother 4.5 hours of it. I can tell you that much. You know, did you have any favorite parts? You know, was you feeling it with Mario, or was you still like, you know, Omarion did his thing? Did you like everybody? You know, put it all in the comments. Of course, Brandy was there. She was supporting her brother, which she always does. One thing I could say about them is that they do support each other, and you do see that the love is there. And so that's really all the thoughts that I got on it, guys. But tell me your thoughts, you know, put it all in the comments like I said. And I got some other videos I got to do tonight, and I got to get me some rest, okay, and do some things through this day and get ready for those tonight. So that's all I got. Till next time, toodaloo. Oh, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Till next time, y'all.